Welcome to this final part in this series. I'm with Keith Hayden, who is Special Projects Manager with the transporter business in Dawsongroup, and today we're going to talk about the really effects of consolidation. Some of it's, Keith, is kind of market driven. We had the JLR situation. We were talking about diesel last time, and obviously there's a bit of contraction going on. Consolidation is an easy option, isn't it?
Good or bad, it certainly has an impact. A significant percentage of transporter operators in the UK are reliant upon subcontraction. So obviously if the number of the guys at the top who offer that subcontraction contracts, if they're contracting, their route to market is limited. So that has had an impact for sure. You talk about Jaguar Land Rover. Very unpleasant situation there. 1,000 people lose their jobs year on year. Registrations for March down 37% within the context of 90% of their vehicles being diesels. So when you blend that in with the previous discussions we've had about Brexit, diesel implication, interest rates, that's not a pleasant story.
So those are the challenges. What sort of positives are there for the transport? It's a difficult time, but there's surely, the times change.
I think there's scope. There's definite scope for optimism moving forward.
From where?
I think from the short stroke medium term. We're going to have a difficult few months to the point of Brexit. We need some consolidated statements with regards to diesel policy. But moving on beyond that, we best refer to the numbers. 2017 was the third highest registration year for new vehicles within the last decade, which in itself was an unparalleled decade of new vehicle registrations. And if you look at the population, it's a growing population, and within the demographic of that growth, it's specifically in young people, all of whom are going to be looking for cars in the not too distant future. So the numbers have taken a step back. There's some challenges that face the market, but moving forward, Britons are going to need cars, and we're going to need more of them. We're going to need new cars, we're going to need used cars. We've had some positive statements about longer term commitment now from Nissan and other manufacturers here in the UK. Jaguar Land Rover, 90% of their production is currently diesel, but that's migrating across now. There's firm policies there for hybrid and electric vehicles. So their excellent product range will lift again. There will be an increase in demand for that product. So difficult currently, but with prudent management of your business, I think there's scope moving forward for once again a return to better times. But
you've got big consolidation. You've got maybe half a dozen major players now who are kind of monopolising certain aspects of the market. But will those monopolies continue to grow? Will it get tougher for smaller operators? What's your view of the market in general and the opportunities for the smaller operators?
Yeah, night is always darkest just before dawn.
Right.
And these things tend to be cyclical. And it's undeniable. There's been a contraction at the top. Yeah. There's been mergers and acquisitions there, and
it's always going to happen.
And that has an impact, for routes to market via subcontraction. So that has made a number of people very uncomfortable. But over time, the capacity within the larger operators, they will always need a degree of subcontraction. Things will settle down, rates will firm again, and things will come again.
Okay. And from a sort of M&A activity in the smaller end of the market, do you see a lot of smaller operators grouping together to share resources, lower costs in the back office, maybe work with some of the services that you have?
Yeah, interesting concept. There's certainly greater communication, as I recognise it, between operators.
Yeah.
People assisting each other with loads to mitigate a loss. So geographically different operators are working together to put a perfect route plan together.
It's like a virtual organisation.
Well, yes.
Remaining independent, but playing to each other's resources and strengths.
It's a very incestuous business at the end of the day. That's the fact of the matter, and people will do it whilst it suits them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, necessity is the mother of invention. I don't foresee perhaps formal and structured trade bodies developing or groupings, but I do see greater integration, and that will be a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's happened in the general fleet over time,
yeah.
and I see it happening in the transporter fleet too.
Yeah, well, you're saying necessity is the mother of invention, but invention, I mean, particularly now we've got a younger generation of operators who are into using the cloud and communication. So, you know, you're very passionate about the flexibility that organisations need. So it's another aspect alongside finance that maybe that gives a new way of competing for the small to mid-range operators.
Absolutely.
When they need.
Absolutely. I couldn't disagree.
Yeah. So, and from Dawson, although you're quite an old group, technically, you seem to have a lot of quite advanced systems supporting what you do. So you can talk a little bit about how those can help in a competitive market.
Success today and standing still today does not guarantee success tomorrow. And as markets and needs move, you need to be ahead of that. We need to be anticipating that. And our company has an absolute history of right across the piece through its various divisional activities of looking to the future. It's plainly clear to see with our temporary cold storage. Right across the piece, we're always looking to improve and always looking to anticipate. And we'll continue to do that. Yeah. And it's very much the atmosphere within head office and driven from the top down, right the way through the branch network. Talk to us. If you have an idea, talk to us. How can we best serve our clients? Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question that's not on the agenda. It's just because we got talking about the future, and every time I meet people from Dawson's, there's areas of innovation happening. One area that we've had discussions about are autonomous vehicles, and I can see, you know, in say delivering goods between retail outlets that working. Is the transport industry going to be immune from that, or is there a play where Dawsongroup is looking at the sort of suppliers and technologies where you use a bit of autonomous vehicle along with a manual operation?
Ultimately, I suspect it will be the future, probably beyond my time.
Yeah.
The manufacturers are looking that way. There's efficiencies to be gained from it. There's potentially safety aspects to be gained from it.
Yeah.
It will require, my cynical head says, an awful lot more investigation and development and research and considered a considered delivery to the marketplace before it's fully accepted. It's a challenge for us as a business. We need to keep a very close eye on these things. You know, we're in dialogue about this on a constant basis. You know, we're talking about an engine that's effectively a diesel engine that's driven commercial vehicles, and with the exception of recent changes with regards to emissions, that's technically stayed much the same.
Yeah.
We're now talking about the potential for electric and hybrid.
Yeah.
We're now talking about driverless trucks, you know, and how that impacts. Well, that has a vast impact because, as I said, these are expensive long life assets. We need to understand, we need to ensure that we're positioned, and we will be, at the forefront of any development and field testing and communicating back. We work very closely with a number of manufacturers, and we will continue to do so. Perfect. At very senior level.
Thank you very much. That's great. So that's really the end of the four-part series. Keith, it's been a real pleasure discussing how the transporter industry is changing, some challenges and solutions. I wish you all the best with your business, and it is an exciting time. I think we have a few challenges.
Always.
But you give us some good solutions. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. If this is the first video you've seen, there are more. So just subscribe or follow us, and you'll be able to join the full series. And of course, if you need any help at all, Keith, you're very pro consultation and engagement.
Absolutely.
It's
always around.
Usually free to talk. Talk doesn't cost, does it?
Not in a penny.
To get in touch, fine. So Keith is your man, and we'll say bye for now.
Thank you.